Here we go. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hello, my name is Taylor Luther, and I'm a Full Sail student at Full Sail University, and I'm currently enrolled in the Recording Arts program, and this is my podcast for my art history class where I interview one of my classmates, because I can't get a hold of one of my teachers, Evan O'Lear, and I emailed him a few simple questions, so I will read you what I asked and how he responded. So, let's get this road on the show! Anyways, question 1. What do you see the role of visual art in society today, particularly in your profession? And he said, well, the connection to visual arts in our society today is very important, what with advertising and all. There is little to no connection to the audio industry, in my eyes, when it comes to visual art. However, he states, unless you count movies as a type of visual art, then it is far and few in between to find any relation whatsoever. Which I have to agree with. It's very difficult for me to be able to relate audio into a visual media without relating it to movies. Anyways, question number 2. New communications and media technology make imagery almost instantly available. Do you believe that this is having a positive or negative influence on your field of industry, and please provide an example? His response is, yes, I do agree that communication and technology has made all sorts of imagery readily available to the masses. I mean, look at Google Images or YouTube for that matter. I still don't see a correlation between those media and how it could have any kind of possible effect on the professional audio industry world, specifically post-production. However, maybe it helped boost the sales of higher quality USB microphones in order to make people's YouTube videos sound better. Like this one. But pretty much, in the end, it had a very small impact, but it was still a positive impact. Anyways, question number 3. What popular images do you see that are frequently repeated throughout your industry? Now, this is kind of funny, because I would have said the exact same thing. There's not really a lot of kind of Sistine Chapel kind of repeated imagery that you're going to find in a studio anywhere. So this is what he said. He said, well, I'm not really sure what the question is asking, but I guess what a frequently repeated image I see in the industry in my kind of studio would be the play and stop symbol on a console, like an Icon or an SSL. But nothing on the level of the Sistine Chapel or any kind of Baroque level of painting. None of that's you're not gonna find any of that. So question number 1, 2, 3, 4. Question number 4. Who is one of your favorite visual artists, and what is your favorite style of visual art? And actually, I commend you, Evan O'Lear, because this is also my favorite style, as well as one of my favorite artists. He states that I would have to say that one of my favorite visual artists would be Salvador Dali, and his surrealist painting style. I mean, come on, dude, clocks, melting clock like that. Anyways, I go on for days. He said, in particular, his favorite painting by Salvador Dali was The Temptation of St. Anthony, which really strikes my fancy. And it actually struck my fancy too, because I used that same painting as a cover art for one of my cover songs. Anyways, question number 5. How has your knowledge of famous artwork influenced your creative process? I found his answer actually to be pretty interesting, and it's a pretty generic answer for somebody that's doing post. And I pretty much would have said the same thing. When it comes to my creative process and what I do in order to mix a film, my knowledge of famous artwork has little to nothing to do with it. My creative process has everything to do with analyzing the emotional content of a scene, sitting down with a director, and then creating a list of words that convey the emotion that I need to portray throughout the use of sound. Now, I can kind of see how this might relate to an artist sitting down, looking at a canvas, and then kind of thinking of adjectives of what he's feeling or she's feeling, and then painting it. But I'm not really sure how my knowledge of famous artwork, or his knowledge of famous artwork for that matter, could really influence the creative process in a post setting. Maybe in a music studio setting. Maybe when you're creating music, but I just really don't see how it could affect you in a post setting because of how technical and set kind of the direction that you're moving is. Anyways, well, those were all the questions that I asked, and all in all, I would have to say this assignment was rather difficult. Myself, being interested in the post-production, would also have really loved to elaborate on how movies influence my work, because somebody did, in fact, interview me. But it wouldn't really relate very well to this assignment, and it's pretty unfortunate. Anyways, this is Taylor Luther, and I'm signing off.